All right, welcome back. On this video, we're going to talk about a couple of different topics, a couple of different items in line with the stock market and in line with other things, because I believe as you gain information, one of the things that make it so difficult for us to actually want to gain information is the actual process that we make for ourselves. And if we make a process that's simple and repetitive, something that's easy to repeat, then we can actually add a little enjoyment or a little excitement to it, right? So by doing that, you have to focus on what you're doing initially. You have to say, well, this is the way I want to learn it. Just like what I'm doing with these stocks. Take for granted that I knew nothing about the stock market from day one, zero. So how I learn and how I take notes, the way I review my notes, the way I create videos for you guys to view based on my notes. See, all that's a process. All that process didn't exist. Now, when you're watching me for the first time or the second time or the 50th time, however you've been following me, some of the stuff probably looks amateurish, and that's okay because it's designed for another purpose opposed to win an award, right? I'm simply doing what I do so that I can recall it through repetition and I can remember it, right? And I'm able to share that with you so that if you're hearing it for the first time, then you're hearing something that may or may not interest you, right? But you're still being exposed to it. And that's how life works in as far as growth. If you're never exposed to anything, then you really can't make a decision about it. You know what I mean by that? If you never heard what baseball is or what football is or what sports is, you don't know what that is. You can't really, give an opinion or, try and gain some knowledge about it because you've never heard about it. But once you've heard about it or been exposed to it, then, it may be something that, kind of resonates with you. And you say, well, you know what? I'd like to learn a little bit more about that game they call baseball or football or I'd like to learn a bit more about how they play chess, or what is that really about? And that's the same way I view gaining knowledge about something for the first time. I want to first have an interest, right? Because time is very important, and you're going to be required to spend time learning about it. So once you decide that that's what you want to do, then kind of make it fun for yourself. Make it where this is one of the ways you really benefit. It's not that you just make it fun for yourself, but you educate and enlighten others in the process. Which is why you want to talk to other people about what you're doing sometimes, and watch their response. When you say something or, do something or share something, pay attention to what they're saying or how they're reacting because, sometimes they really want to know more. But one of the things that I found to be the case is that as you grow, as you start to become who you are, as you start to be able to be identified with what you do, people have a tendency to not really, I won't say be afraid, but they'll be reluctant to approach you with a question or a situation, because be mindful of this: people are always watching, and if you're doing something that's allowing you to grow in any way, shape, fashion, or form, people are watching you grow. Especially things like this, these videos. When you see me on a video and you have a tendency to sit down and actually listen to what I'm saying, a lot of times I'm making sense, right? A lot of times if you just, have nothing to do and you want to, get informed about something, that's what you'll do. You go to YouTube and you'll see what's interesting to you and you'll click on that video and you'll listen, right? And you'll learn something as something that you didn't know prior to watching that video. That's always the way it works. So continue to gain and educate yourself and share that information that you gain with others. So quickly, I'm going to go into one of the words I want to talk about right now is called liquidity. You probably heard that term. That means how quickly you can convert an asset to cash, right? How quickly you can get your hands on some money. Right? So one of the ways is cash. Another is stocks. The stock market is pretty liquid. A CD, that's pretty liquid. Now, what's not liquid? real estate, it's not really always easy to sell a house. Now, you can sell a house real quickly, but you're probably going to lose a lot of money, right? Art, that's not real liquid because you don't actually have an audience that would be interested. You have to actually create that audience. And illiquid investments are for long term, not short term. In other words, things that you can't cash out really quickly, that should be the long-term mindset that you decide to buy. Like if you're going to buy some art or some real estate, something that is going to grow over time, and you can actually create an audience when you need or want to sell it, right? So be mindful of that. Liquidity is a word that you want to. Your savings account is a good idea. You want to have 4 to 6 months of savings in some place where you can access it pretty quickly in case something happens, right? Because in the world we live in, things happen all the time. So if something happens really quickly where you need cash today, you want to be able to access that, right? So think about that, and we're going to talk on the next video. SpeakerLarry.com.